Have you ever felt that sinking feeling in your stomach when something you love most in the world suddenly disappears? When panic takes over and time seems to stand still? Well, buckle up, because today's story will take you on an emotional roller coaster that'll remind you why the bond between humans and their furry companions is truly magical. Before we dive into this incredible tale, I want to remind everyone that this story is meant for entertainment and storytelling purposes. While inspired by real events, some details have been adapted to create the most heartwarming experience for our viewers of all ages. This story is for entertainment and storytelling purposes only. While inspired by real events, it is not veterinary advice. Picture this. Sarah had two dogs that meant everything to her. There was Luna, a bouncy 5-month-old puppy with endless energy and eyes full of mischief. And then there was Max, a 5-year-old gentle soul who had always been a bit nervous around strangers. Max wasn't what you'd call a social butterfly. He was more like that friend who prefers quiet movie nights to big parties. But Sarah loved him exactly as he was. One sunny morning, Sarah decided it was time for both her furry friends to visit the veterinary clinic for some routine care. She'd heard about a special mobile clinic. Imagine a magical healing wagon that traveled from place to place, helping pets in need. This wasn't just any ordinary clinic visit. It was being held at an animal rescue center about an hour away from home. As they drove through winding roads surrounded by thick forests and rolling hills, Sarah couldn't shake a strange feeling in her chest. You know that little voice that whispers in the back of your mind? Hers was speaking a bit louder than usual. She'd mentioned multiple times when scheduling the appointment that Max was nervous around new people. The clinic staff had been wonderfully understanding, even suggesting she stay nearby in case Max felt too anxious. But sometimes, even when we do everything right, life has its own plans. The clinic was set up like something from a storybook. There was the main rescue building, warm and welcoming, and about 30 feet away sat the mobile veterinary clinic, a marvel of modern veterinary care on wheels. Between these two structures lay a short pathway that would soon become the setting for an adventure no one expected. After the initial check-in went smoothly, Sarah felt a wave of relief. The staff gave her the all-clear, saying everything looked good to proceed. With Luna staying behind for her appointment, Sarah decided to grab some lunch across town, thinking she'd be back in plenty of time. What happened next unfolded like a scene from an adventure movie. Max was being escorted from the building to the mobile veterinary clinic, a simple 30-foot journey that should have taken less than a minute. But Max, in his nervous state, had been quietly working on something. In just 3 quick, desperate seconds, he had chewed completely through his leash. In his panic, he nicked his tongue slightly, but that didn't slow him down. Freedom, but not the kind Max was looking for. Meanwhile, Sarah was sitting in a cozy restaurant across town, completely unaware that her world was about to turn upside down. Then her phone rang. "Ma'am, I'm so sorry, but Max has gotten loose and run away. We need you to come back immediately." Time stopped. Sarah's hands went numb, her heart pounded like a drum, and suddenly nothing else in the world mattered except getting back to Max. The drive back felt like the longest journey of her life. Every red light seemed to last forever. Every turn felt like it was taking her further from her beloved companion. When she arrived at the rescue, it looked like a scene from a search and rescue operation. Nearly the entire clinic staff had dropped everything and stationed themselves at different points around the property. These weren't just employees doing their job, they were fellow animal lovers who understood exactly what Max meant to Sarah. Sarah had never run so hard in her life. From the rescue center, she sprinted toward the main highway, following the path of Max's last known location. 20 minutes felt like 20 hours. Her lungs burned, her heart ached, but she couldn't stop. The forest was thick, with towering trees and deep shadows, perfect hiding spots for a dark brown dog like Max, whose beautiful chocolate coat made him nearly invisible among the tree trunks and fallen leaves. But then something magical happened. The staff members searching began reporting sightings. Max wasn't just running away randomly, he was moving in a deliberate pattern around the rescue center, like he was searching for something. Or someone. He was looking for Sarah. After what felt like an eternity, after Sarah had reached her emotional breaking point standing on the side of the highway, she saw something that made her heart soar. There, emerging from the direction of a small country church, was a familiar brown figure running toward the highway. It was Max. But here's where the story gets even more touching. When Max saw Sarah, he didn't immediately run to her like you might expect. Instead, he approached cautiously, almost like he couldn't believe his eyes. Was it really her? After all the chaos and fear, could it actually be his beloved human? Max circled around Sarah with curious interest, his nose working overtime, his eyes studying her face. It was as if he was saying, "Is it really you? Are you really here?" Sarah knew exactly what to do. She crouched down as low as she could get, making herself small and unthreatening. She spoke in the gentlest, sweetest voice she could muster, the same voice she used during their quiet evening cuddles. The voice that had comforted Max through thunderstorms and fireworks. And then, like a scene from the most heartwarming movie you've ever watched, recognition dawned in Max's eyes. His tail began to wag, slowly at first, then with increasing enthusiasm. He approached Sarah, and in that moment, all the fear and anxiety melted away. Both of them were flooded with relief. Sarah, who had been fighting back tears of worry, and Max, who had been searching desperately for the one person who meant safety and love to him. The 10 staff members who had been combing the area all breathed collective sighs of relief. These dedicated professionals had turned a routine day into a rescue mission, all because they understood the sacred bond between a pet and their human. Getting the leash back on Max should have been the easy part, but Sarah's hands were shaking so much from the emotional roller coaster that even those 2 seconds felt tense. Fortunately, Max was now completely calm, as if the reunion had washed away all his earlier panic. The staff acted quickly and responsibly, doing everything they could to ensure Max's safety and comfort. And here's the beautiful ending to our story. Max still received his medical care that day. The staff, having learned about his escape artist abilities, made sure Sarah was by her side for every step of the journey to and from the mobile veterinary clinic. She even stepped inside the mobile veterinary clinic, surrounded by other peacefully resting dogs, to personally encourage Max that everything was okay. It was remarkable the moment Sarah was back with him. Max transformed from an anxious escape artist into the most cooperative patient you could imagine. It was as if her presence was the missing piece that made everything feel safe and right in his world. The clinic staff updated Max's file with an important note. flight risk, not as a criticism, but as valuable information to ensure his future safety and well-being. This incredible adventure taught everyone involved some powerful lessons. Sometimes, even when we do everything right, unexpected things happen. Life has a way of surprising us, testing us, and ultimately reminding us what truly matters. Sarah could have been angry at the clinic staff, could have blamed them for not using a stronger leash or taking extra precautions. But she recognized something important: mistakes happen to everyone. And what matters most is how we respond to them. Most remarkably, Max's behavior during his escape showed something beautiful about the intelligence and emotional depth of our four-legged friends. He didn't just run blindly into the forest, never to be seen again. Instead, he stayed in the area, searching in a pattern, as if some deep instinct told him that Sarah would come back for him. The forest was dense and dark, full of hiding places where a lost dog could disappear forever. But Max's heart, his connection to Sarah, kept him close enough to be found. This story reminds us that the bond between humans and their pets transcends simple companionship. It's a connection built on trust, love, and an almost magical understanding that goes beyond words. Max knew somehow that Sarah would never abandon him. And Sarah's immediate response, dropping everything, racing back, searching with her whole heart, proved that Max's trust was well placed. In a world that can sometimes feel disconnected and fast-paced, stories like this remind us of the pure, unconditional love that exists between species. They show us that loyalty isn't just a word, it's a living, breathing force that can guide a frightened dog back home and give a worried human the strength to never give up searching. Max's great escape became a great reunion, and both he and Sarah emerged from the experience with an even deeper appreciation for each other. Sometimes the scariest moments in life lead us to the most profound realizations about what we truly value. And that, my friends, is the magic of the bond between humans and their furry family members, a connection so strong that it can guide us home, no matter how far we've wandered. So the next time you look into your pet's eyes, remember Max and Sarah's story. Remember that the love you share creates an invisible thread that connects your hearts, no matter the distance, no matter the circumstances. It's a beautiful reminder that love always finds a way,